Sometimes Married at First Sight gets the matches right, and when they do, it's amazing. Here is a list of all the couples that are still together. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. The Lifetime reality show Married at First Sight has struggled to create lasting relationships, but they have gotten it right several times. Most participants have suffered from terrible matches with little hope for a happily ever after. Viewers have even started to question the experts' judgment and whether they know what they are doing. The success rate of the experiment is atrocious, and it makes fans wonder why people still sign up for it. Over the last 17 seasons, only 12 couples have stayed together out of the 64 matched. That gives the experts a success rate of just 18.75%. Married at First Sight has proven itself to be an unreliable, unpredictable, and an all-around horrible way to find a partner. Sure, Woody and Ammani are a perfect match, but when fans think about the high number of divorces that have taken place compared to the number of happy marriages, it looks incredibly bleak. But there are a few lucky couples who managed to make the experiment work for them, and they left the show hand in hand with their forever person, proving that well-matched strangers can fall in love. Jaime, Otis, and Doug Henner. One of the original couples from Married at First Sight season 1 back in 2014 in the franchise, Doug and Jaime have long been an example of what the show can offer participants. Jaime initially didn't feel chemistry with Doug when she walked down the aisle, but her feelings quickly changed after they tied the knot. Not only did they say yes to each other come decision day, but a year after their initial marriage they had a vow renewal ceremony via Lifetime. Doug officially proposed to his wife, and Jaime surprised Doug by revealing her official name change. 2 months after the pair had their vow renewals, they announced they were expecting. Sadly, only 2 weeks after that, Jaime and Doug announced the tragic news that they lost the baby. However, 6 months later, they let MAFS fans know they were expecting another baby boy. In April 2017, the couple shared they were then expecting a little girl. In an April 2024 Instagram announcement, Jaime, Doug, and their 2 kids revealed they are expecting twin boys. Anthony D'Amico and Ashley Petta. For Anthony and Ashley, it was love at first sight in Season 5 in 2016. These two are one of the most perfectly matched couples and an example of how beautiful the Married at First Sight experiment can be for couples. Their values aligned with their hopes for the future and their strong Italian roots. Although they had a few arguments here and there, the two always found a way to patch things up. 8 years later, and the pair are now parents to 2 daughters and showcase their love and admiration for each other on social media. Ashley has become a mom influencer, and Anthony has become a dad influencer in his own right. The family enjoys time at home, cooking, taking vacations, and being goofy. Jeff Pierre and Shaunice Jackson. Jeff, an elementary school teacher, and Shaunice, a cosmetologist, when they met in Married at First Sight Season 6, had their fair share of problems. They had a rocky start, as Jeff struggled to move past the idea of marrying a stranger and was cold to Shaunice during their honeymoon. Still, they managed to overcome their issues and chose to stay married on decision day. They welcomed their daughter, Laura Denise, in August 2018. In a September 2020 YouTube video on her channel, Shaunice opened up about the fact that she and Jeff had separated for a few months upon learning about her pregnancy. However, they found their way back to each other and Jeff re-proposed. Jeff is not currently active on social media, but Shaunice very much is, and the pair share a joint Instagram account at 8 Stronger Together 8, where they post about their family. Danielle Bergman and Bobby Dodd. The moment Danielle and Bobby laid eyes on each other, fans could tell they would end up together. Although no couple is perfect, Danielle and Bobby are close. They had the smoothest experience on the show, arguably, out of any couple to be a part of it. They are one of those couples that remind viewers why a show like Married at First Sight exists. They unsurprisingly chose to stay married after decision day in Season 7 and have been happily married ever since. Danielle and Bobby now have 3 children together, born in February 2019, December 2020, and September 2023. In first pregnancy, Danielle was diagnosed with HELLP syndrome. Henner syndrome is a series of symptoms that make up a syndrome that can affect pregnant women. Henner syndrome is thought to be a variant of preeclampsia, but it may be an entity all on its own, according to AmericanPregnancy.org. Stephanie Serson and A.J. Vollmuller, Season 8. Stephanie and A.J. wed on Married at First Sight Season 8 in 2019, which took place in Philadelphia. They each had admiration for their parents' decades-long marriages and wanted the same for themselves. A.J. was a successful CEO who wanted to share his life with someone, and Stephanie was ready to be that woman. A.J.'s temper was a point of contention throughout the show. He was easily riled up and often took his frustrations out on Stephanie. Luckily, Stephanie kept a cool head, which made them a great match. The couple is still together today. They share a joint Instagram account that was last posted in 2023, and it highlights their many travels as a couple. Moreover, Stephanie has her own Instagram and travel blog where her and A.J.'s travels take center stage. Christine Killingsworth and Keith DeWar. Another successful couple from Married at First Sight Season 8 was Christine and Keith, who turned out to be a great match. It was no surprise when they chose to stay married after Decision Day. However, their journey was not without bumps in the road. One of their biggest fights was about gender roles within their relationship. In the end, they both managed to find happiness in one another, and Christine's Instagram is littered with adorable photos of the two. Christine is in the real estate industry, while Keith touts his job as a dialysis biomedical technician on his Instagram. The pair do not have any kids yet and seem to be focused on their marriage, careers, family, and life in Philadelphia. Deanna McNeil and Gregory Okodi. Gregory and Deanna were bound to stay together. Within their relationship, there was compromise, trust, and understanding, all important components in making a marriage work. The pair chose to stay married on Decision Day and welcomed a baby boy named Declan Okodi in February 2021. Deanna and Greg are both active on Instagram and share a YouTube channel, The Okodis, where they talk about their experience being married at first sight and as parents. Jessica Studer and Austin Hurd. Jessica and Austin were simply adorable in Married at First Sight Season 10 back in 2021. Fans wondered whether these two even fought, though Jessica said they did. The pair had a mutual desire to start a family. They have gone from strength to strength and are the only couple from their season that is still together. Jessica and Austin are enjoying life together after the show, cementing their place as a Married at First Sight success story. They welcomed a baby boy in November 2021 and recently announced they are expecting another baby due in August. Ammani and Woody Randall. Ammani and Woody were married at first sight perfection in Season 11 in New Orleans. When the experts matched these two, they got it right. Ammani and Woody had a connection right away, and it only grew. From week to week, their relationship got deeper, so it was no surprise when the couple chose to stay married. Fans have even suggested the couple appear in new seasons as guides for future couples trying to make their relationships work. Ammani and Woody have since welcomed 2 children together, still live in New Orleans, and share a YouTube channel about their lives. Brianna Miles and Vincent Morales. Brianna and Vincent were in Married at First Sight Season 12 in Atlanta in 2021. The pair had great chemistry via Lifetime and had some memorable moments. They were on the same page about finances and have built a nice life together since Season 12 ended. They welcomed a baby girl in early 2023 and both stay active on social media. Kina Good and Elajuan Dickerson. Kina and Elajuan had a rough road on Married at First Sight Season 14 in Boston. They fought over gender roles, trust issues, and Elajuan's hot temper. However, they decided to stay together on Decision Day, but they have broken up and got back together several times. Currently, they seem to still be together and recently took a tropical vacation. They are relatively quiet about their private life and marital status and like to keep MASS fans guessing. Nicole Woolley and Christopher Theok. Nicole and Christopher seemed made for each other in Married at First Sight Season 16 in Nashville. Boisterous Nicole was soothed by Chris' calming presence and was charmed by the way he showed affection and took care of her. They did have an uncomfortable situation over Chris saying Nicole was thicker than his usual type, but they got over that. They said yes on decision day easily and have stayed married. They are active on social media and frequently hang out with their Nashville co-stars. Camille Parsons and Thomas McDonald. Camille Parsons and Thomas McDonald ended up being the only original Married at First Sight season 18 couple to say yes to staying together come decision day. Thomas was the oldest MAFS cast member at 42. He and 32-year-old Camille have a 10-year age gap.